Hi, my name is Chica Bruno. I'll be talking to you about Climecheck. This is our demo. Short, Climecheck is a real-time big data platform of climate monitoring devices around the world. So why do we need a platform like Climecheck? So today, basically, we know about what's happening to our Earth, our ecosystem, by either listening to governments or big corporations. And we know sometimes governments are not the most transparent, and big corporations are also not the most transparent. So how do you create like a transparent ecosystem? It's basically by outsourcing platforms like that to the wisdom of the crowd. So we're looking to pull those data from the everyday individuals that can contribute by owning the sensor and propagating those data to the ecosystem. So what that does is it sort of like breaks the data bottleneck and barriers by open sourcing that data and ensure that anyone can have it. When the ecosystem is robust enough, you could basically benchmark and track against an industry's impact in an ecology over time. So basically, if you're looking at an ecology, say 5 years before an industry gets there, and 5 years after an industry gets there, so you could basically march to say, this is what this is like the damage or the impact that is sustained by this ecology due to the fact that these industries happen to have sprung up at this particular point in time. And the most beautiful thing is that that information is not owned by government, it's not owned by big companies, it's owned by the community, by individuals. You could go and validate them. So what a robust platform like that does is that it helps governments actually look at what their regulatory framework is, how it's impacting the ecosystem, and do a real-time check and see how to sort of like improve. So what we basically did is we created basically like an explorer page where you could go through the continent, go through the country, go through even to your locale and see what are the sensors available in that area, what are the data they are capturing. And if you feel there are some data that are not captured and you would like to see being shown, you could basically write Climecheck a feedback or submit a proposal to the community and see how that goes. The community sort of like in answering that proposal. So how do we ensure that people actually contribute to the ecosystem? So we build something like a revenue, sort of like a revenue model that allows people to earn by participating. So you have two types of users. You have those that own Climecheck sensors, or you have third parties that own already existing sensor. So basically, those that own Climecheck sensors contribute data to the ecosystem. They earn tokens, and the data from the ecosystem is monetized through B2B models, or individuals that want to do research or want to use that data will have to join Climecheck ecosystem by an NFT or basically pay subscription fee to use that data. So that way, the ecosystem generates revenue and it rewards those that are contributing to the ecosystem. So if you want to contribute to Climecheck today, how do you do it? So basically, you could start off by getting a Climecheck sensor, install it in your premise, connect to the Climecheck ecosystem, you earn your reward. Once you own a Climecheck sensor, you automatically have access to all the data that's available in the platform. So what about if you already have an existing sensor and you don't want to buy a Climecheck sensor? You can just come straight to connect to the Climecheck ecosystem. At this point, you can mint a membership NFT that allows you to earn reward and see other data providers in the ecosystem. So what makes my team uniquely qualified to do that? So across my team, there's a whole lot of experience from the traditional industry to Web3. Like I, as a CEO of Climecheck, I basically have 7 years experience as an instrumentation designer and control engineer. I've worked on the Dangote $18 billion refinery mega project. I've also founded a Web3 dev shop based in Lagos. I'm also a co-contributor at Build, which is a network state funded by Balaji. So my experience over the past 10 years has sort of like given me a Web3 background, strong engineering background for engineering and instrumentation system designs. Usman, who is the CEO, is currently a PhD candidate at the Kentucky University, where he basically works in machine learning models to figure out protein sequencing. Mike, which is a chief strategy officer, has about 20 years experience in power and energy. So we'll approach the team structure in two ways: through the product build aspect of it and the product usage aspect of it. So for the product build aspect of it, we'll have like front-end designers, UI UX designers, we have back-end designers, we have blockchain developers, which are captured here. For the product use aspect of it, we have people that are focused on partnership, talking with the right regulators, talking with the right enterprises to use our product and to see how the product absolutely like elevates the problem for them. So progress, in terms of progress, what have we done so far? So we've built out an ecosystem that allows that people can own a wallet. So the explore page where you can see the pollution data. You can have your carbon footprint profile. So basically you input your carbon footprint month on month. Then over the year, you can see how well you're tracking, do projections to estimate and all sort of fun stuff. You have dashboards for pollutants. You basically have my sensor page. You have like a data and awareness page that takes all those environmental data and presents it in such a way that is stimulating to the individuals and allows them to have a conversation around how do we better understand that climate, how do we better monitor it. We also have the carbon footprint calculator. So I'll be going through a couple of these, not all of them, maybe just one or two, to tell you how our platform works. So for the my sensor page, so this is basically the device integration. So you could either have an indoor sensor or you have an outdoor sensor. So basically when you connect your sensor to the Climecheck ecosystem with a true API integration, so you have this board lights up for you. So you could basically track the different pollution, the air quality index for different pollution here. You can see the number of data streams here. You can see if your device is active or not. You can see how many Climecheck ecosystem token, which we call click, has been earned. You could basically see, you could download the data record for your particular device. You could have like a history of the different readings the device has seen, a quick snapshot. Then you also have a very important feature, which is a notification feature that basically notifies you when the pollution level is getting into the dangerous zone and if you need to take action. So part of the thing we're trying to do at Climecheck, especially with the carbon footprint aspect, is also more like a behavior encouraging tool. So we're basically rewarding individuals for capturing their carbon footprint on a month-on-month basis. So you can come on the Climecheck ecosystem, put in your carbon footprint, put in data which will validate through our electronic data interchange systems, and will reward you with footprint tokens. So this particular wallet, you have like the sensor tokens, which you see how much you earn by contributing sensor to the network, or how much you earn by basically reporting your carbon footprint. We have like a general wallet here where you can load your Climecheck tokens on it and use it to purchase sensors on our platform. You have like general dashboard where you can say pick a pollutant, say CO2, select a particular region or city, and basically see what the trend for that area is. We're building a machine learning model to this that allows you to be able to predict what it will look like, say tomorrow or 4 to 5 years down the line. So that would be a very important tools for organization and also for regulators. So what is our roadmap? So the Climecheck roadmap is broken down into two. We have the distributed ownership and the climate commons. So the distributed ownership is basically our initial phase where we're trying to get as many people as possible to own sensors and contribute to the ecosystem and push the boundaries around the number of sensors that can be owned: air pollutant sensor, water sensor, land sensor. And also we are basically also encouraging the habit of keeping track of carbon footprint through our app, and also monetizing that process, allowing people to earn while they do that. So what that does is we can create like a carbon footprint profile for individuals and for organizations. And through our electronic data interchanges and also our APIs and our sensors, we can help companies to validate that information on individuals. So what happens when you have validated information about carbon footprint? You could basically overlay regulation on top of that base data and create like a right framework where regulators can plug in and easily certify those data sets. So phase 2 on our roadmap is called the Climate Commons. So the essence of the Climate Commons is a Climecheck will basically fill in the pulse of the earth. So we have to improve the number of ways we're able to monitor the Earth ecosystem. And some of those ways are very expensive, like radar stations, weather satellites. So that is where the Climate Common comes in, which is the DAO function of Climecheck, where the community owns this in real life assets that allows us to gather those data feedback that goes on to inform us on the current situation of the earth. So on my team, about 5 people have engaged in mega projects who are looking to bring our experiences we've had from running mega projects in real life into a DAO structure where we are making decisions on-chain, from technical bid evaluation, commercial bid evaluation, vendor sourcing, procurement lifecycle, project implementation plan, and all that, bringing all that from the traditional world into the Web3 ecosystem, DAO world, in terms of executing projects, either building radar stations or launching satellites or building test labs. So those are some of our audacious goals in the roadmap. And also on the roadmap, we want to be able to create an ecosystem that is owned by the community, that the regulators and businesses can easily tie into. So because we're aggregating data from everybody, which is the wisdom of the crowd, we can create like a benchmark where regulators can tie to validate environmental data. Businesses can plug in through API or Climecheck sensors or through electronic data interchanges that the Climecheck ecosystem have, and just propagate that data to the general public to show how compliant they are. And regulators can also tie into that data to certify their emission level. So far, we basically had 2 industry enterprise partnership, which is Construct, a construction aggregation company, and Benify, a ride-hailing company. So in the Web3 ecosystem, we had 2 partnerships also with Polygon Village through technical support, and WaveChain also through technical support. So on Attraction, we have aggregated up to 30,000 data streams. And by end of the month, we're looking to grow that to 100,000. We have live sensors integrated on the platform. By end of the quarter, we're looking to increase the number of Climecheck sensors to about 100. And by middle of the year, grow that to 1,000 and scale from there. So in summary, what Climecheck does is basically highlighted by these 3 pictures. So the first one is the Earth ecosystem, which is speaking to us through the environmental data it produces. The second one is Climecheck, digitizing those data by providing nodes to the ecosystem. So the first one, the Earth is speaking. The second one is Climecheck is listening. And when I mean Climecheck is listening, is you are listening. I am listening. The community is listening through our devices will connect on the network and integrate that into the Climecheck ecosystem, and the platform provides, which is the final one, an information in a way that is easy for us to understand. So at the final form of Climecheck will be the pulse of the Earth ecosystem, because it's made up of hundreds of thousands or millions of people contributing their device to the network, listening to the Earth speak, and producing that information in such a way that it's trustless. We don't have to rely on big governments. We don't have to rely on big corporations. We can basically just listen to our Earth speak and hear ourselves, and all the partisanship that comes with understanding what climate data is saying is left behind, because this is community sourced data and everybody contributes to it. Thank you very much.
Hi, this is Team Prestare, and Prestare is a DeFi lending protocol. We can offer a lower collateral ratio and can even support under-collateralized loans. So we know that most protocols like Compound or Aave, they are over-collateralized. It is safe, trustless, but still it is very capital inefficient. And some other protocols like Maple Finance or TrueFi, they need to collaborate with some other CeFi institutions, but lending to them without collaterals includes the risk of bad debt. So for Prestare, we want to balance the security and the efficiency. We have invented a mechanism that can support under-collateralized loans, but still in a trustless way. So how can we achieve that? Actually, it is quite simple. We just based on very simple profit sharing idea. We allow users to borrow more money in the next time if they've made a loan with us before. But notice that in the whole process, we will make sure the money users can take out will not exceed their collateral plus the past earnings we made from them. So the whole system is still over-collateralized to ensure we are still solvent. But however, for borrowers, they can enjoy a lower and lower collateral ratio on our protocol. So how can we make it? What's the core difference between us and Compound or Aave? So basically, we have a very different token economics or business model. Like Compound or Aave, they will take like 20% of their interest payment as a reserve. So some protocols take more, but for Compound, the reserve is served as insurance funds and will be used to compensate the liquidity provider if the market crash in the future. But thanks to the over-collateralization principle, they barely use the reserve. So the difference here is for Prestare, we want to utilize the reserve now. It sounds a little bit risky, but we will not give users our reserve directly. We will make a copy of our reserve and call them credit token. And we will make sure one credit token always backed by one stablecoin assets in our reserve pool. And then we give our credit token to our borrowers who have made a contribution to the reserve pool. So you can say in this way, on the one hand, we can automatically differentiate our users' credit worthiness, and everyone have a different collateral ratio. So, and on the other hand, it is also a user retention solution and encouraging borrowing activities. So let me give you a very simple example to show how borrowers interact with our protocol. So if you are a new user and you don't have any credit token, for example, like Bob, you will have the same collateral ratio as on our protocols as you have on other protocols. But the different thing here is after you pay back your loan, and we will give you credit token, and of course the amount of the credit token you receive will will depend on your interest payment. And then in the second time, if you still need a loan and with this credit token, you can borrow more in this time. So you can say from this time, you already have a lower collateral ratio on our protocol than you've got on others. And you can imagine if you keep borrowing and you will get more credit token. So of course, one day you will achieve the under-collateralization eventually. And we also got a risk management system for our credit token. You can see the formula here. This formula determines how much of credit token you need for an under-collateralized loan. You can see from this example, and if you want to borrow additional $400 out, you need about 500 credit token. So it is not always 1-to-1 ratio. So if you have a higher loan to value, you need more credit token. That is, one credit token help you borrow this money as your loan to value increases. And and the credit token is transferable and tradable because it is backed by real capital. So we also have a credit token redemption scheme to protect our users if the credit token experience an exploit. So here we allow users use one credit token to redeem $0.6 of our stablecoin, and the price of and if the price of the credit token is attacked. So in this case, the reserve pool will not drain out, and we can retain 14% of the credit token reserve, and it will also stable the credit token price. So okay, so the credit token is the main point of our credit system, and we also have another system we call it is a soul bond token. So this is non-transferable and includes more information about your transaction history. For example, if you ever default on some other protocols or on our protocols, it will damage your credit score, and the credit score will influence your credit token's utility. So in other words, your collateral ratio will increases even though you have the same amount of the credit token if you have default history. So yeah, and then we also have some other improvements. So first, we have the classification system on every coin by their risk profile. So the initial collateral ratio would be very different among different coins. And if your collateral is a riskier asset, but you want to borrow a safer asset, you need to pay the interest premium. And then the interest premium will compensate our LP. So our liquidity providers can choose their counterparty's risk and adjust their asset allocation by their risk appetite. So if a risky coin experienced an exploit, it would have only impact on the corresponding pool, say the TSA pool. So in some sense, it is also fair because the TSA pool enjoys a higher yield because of the risk premium. Oh, not risk because of the interest premium. And for the liquidation part, in the version 1, we will use the common liquidation tools. That is, we will introduce the outside liquidators. But in the version 2, we plan to create internal swap market to benefit our liquidity providers and also prevent the MEV. So, and here PRS is our governance token. Here we introduce the V token economics from Curve and distribute our revenues to our PRS holders. And here is our tokenomics in this stage. Most of us from HKUST Crypto FinTech Lab. I am a math PhD student, and Pengze is a CS PhD student of this lab. Thomas and Arkad, they are research assistants of this lab. We are all full-time work on this project. And we also have an experienced industry developer, and he is a senior algorithm expert at Alibaba and had over 10 years experience in data mining. And Mars is our smart contract developer. He also worked on Metafa as a smart contract developer, and we are also supported by Dora Hex Grandal and Hobby Incubator. And this is our roadmap. Now we are in the fundraising phase, and we already deployed our smart contract on our private chain, and we plan to launch on the testnet in the Q1 of this year, and launch on the mainnet in the Q2 of this year. We target to some layer 2 protocols like Scroll, ZK-Sync, or some OP rollups. This is our Twitter and email. Feel free to contact us if you're interested.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jamie, the head of growth at Web3Go. So, let me give you an intro to Web3Go's products and background. Web3Go is a data analytics platform. We focus on building professional dashboards and providing the tools and API to help users easily visualize, create, and share data. Currently, we focus on building our infrastructure for data from Solana near BNB chain and the Polkadot ecosystem. We believe that these four public chains are the leading players in the future. As we see the rapid development of these public chains, we are confident that our platform of on-chain data service will play an important role in the future. So today's content will be divided into 7 sections. Let me walk you through the first section. With the rapid development of multi-chain, some data problems will become more acute, which I have summarized into 3 aspects. First, growing data demand versus limited Rust-based chain analysis. 2, the existing RPC cannot meet the needs of complex dApp. 3, most users don't get to receive notifications of important on-chain activities causing information latency. I will discuss them in detail later. We can see that the number of active developers on different blockchains from December 2020 to December 2021, we see rapid increases of developers for the Polkadot and Solana blockchain, which are 4 times respectively. While active developer group continues to grow, the demand for blockchain data and related services is all-time high. However, Rust-based chain analysis is particularly limited, and we see there is a big gap for Web3Go to fill. Generally speaking, on-chain data contains many valuable information, but it is hard to read. It is necessary to clean the data and present it in a readable way. To tackle this problem, many projects such as Nansen, DeFi Llama, and the bank have built very nice dashboards to surface the signal behind data, which has brought them great success and economic return. These projects will provide portals for users to get insights from on-chain data and to make smarter investment decisions. The second challenge is that basic RPC calls fail to support complex logic. The graph on the right shows the number of daily API queries on the graph from January 2020 to May 2021, and I assume there's a lot more now. So we can see that the demand for customized APIs is still very large, and developers spend a lot of time writing data indexers on the graph. To be honest, it is not an easy task to write an indexer on the graph, and the process has severely distracted developers from the core application logic. The last point is coming from my personal experience of using many blockchain products. I wish to have an active push function. For example, has the price of the NFT I purchased changed, or whether the liquidity of the DeFi products I participated in has changed. Most of the current products still require users to actively open the Explorer and query instead of pushing relevant information to users. I think there is a very big opportunity here to provide service that fills this gap. To make data more readable, we built data dashboard that provides straightforward insights with a smooth, user-friendly UI. Users are also able to use visualization tools on our platform to create their own graphs and charts. Over the past 3 months, we've built several dashboards and received good feedback. Our dashboards have been officially integrated into some of the most high-profile projects in the Polkadot ecosystem and BNB chain, and is widely used in the community. Our partners has promoted our projects through their social media channels. We received an offer from Moonbeam to provide them on-chain data analysis in long term. We also recently received an acquisition inquiry from Huobi. Looking back, what we've done so far is not possible without our good understanding of the data and strong engineering capabilities. We are the first to build a series of complex and universal APIs in Polkadot ecosystem, including transaction history from Genesis account balance for each token, crypto profile, and time machine, which is the snapshot of one account at one time point. These APIs are now used by various projects, including Binance, Moonbeam, LeaderTree, Ranger Protocol, and more. Even some APIs are used by Binance internally to calculate crowd loan reward in Polkadot parachain auction. From that, we have won a good reputation in terms of development capability in the community. We have also developed a framework for automatic and active push, namely Web3Go Notify. We have first implemented it in Moonbeam staking dashboard to actively push collator and nominator related information to subscribers via email. We are abstracting this framework and using webhooks to make it adaptable to more public chains. We plan to build a unified data platform to make the notify feature easy to be integrated into various public chains. As you can see, we will support pushing updates of data from Near, Polkadot, BNB Chain, and Solana. To sum up, Web3Go mainly provides three products. The first one is what we mainly do at present, providing customized dashboards for projects and communities, which will involve data of DeFi, token float, NFT, and games. At the same time, we'll provide tools to the community so that data developers can quickly develop dashboard based on the data we have captured on blockchain. The second is to provide some valuable APIs based on our data analysis platform to smooth the process of data query and avoid duplication of efforts by developers. And for the third product, we want to build a general active push framework, which is important to different public chains, so as to provide active push services covering the on-chain events for developers and users. Regarding the strategy of Web3Go, we will mainly focus on BNB Chain and Polkadot. It doesn't mean that we gave up on the EVM ecosystem. Seeing the competition on the Ethereum main network is relatively fierce, we believe it is difficult for us as a latecomer to gain an advantage now, especially in terms of data accumulation. However, we will cooperate with some new EVM projects such as Moonbeam and EVM-compatible public chain built on Polkadot to fill the gap of data analysis in EVM. So you can see the value flow I just mentioned. And our business model will be built on the above three products. On the user end, we will provide both free and paid dashboards and charge a certain fee for subscribing. On the project and developer ends, we aim to deliver customized data analysis, API service, and active push service. In the foreseeable future, our focus will be developing and improving our products. However, we reserve the possibility to issue tokens. Our tokenomics is listed on the right, and the tokens will be used in all three products. Let's see our achievements. Over the past 4 months, the Web3Go team has rapidly built a data analytics platform from scratch. We have not only won several prizes in different hackathons, but also received grants from the ecosystem. Our 3 products have been implemented and integrated into other products from Moonbeam, RMarket, LittleTree, and PNS. Our efforts are seen and recognized by partners. Now, I think Web3Go has come to a point where we have gained good experience to do multi-chain data analysis, especially to migrate our existing products and concepts to Solana and Near, and we hope to get more support and expand our team. And we have seen that on-chain data analysis is ever more valued by users and capital in the industry, whether it is 2B or 2C projects. There has been great development in this cycle. Millions and even billions economic value has been unlocked by the projects like Chainalysis, Zero Analytics, Nansen. Data analysis is a tough and long journey compared to other projects. It takes months and years to accumulate data and build relevant infrastructures and tools, but we are in the very beginning of the multi-chain era, and this is the right time to start. Therefore, we need to build a multi-chain unified data platform and use our strong engineering capabilities to capture the value of data. I have divided on-chain data analysis into 3 levels, namely data indexers, data service providers, and data analysis, according to different ecosystems in which the project is located. I drew this table. It can be seen that the most competition lay in the Ethereum ecosystem, where a number of great projects emerged, such as Nansen and Do Analytics. For relatively new public chains such as Polkadot, Solana, and Near, there's still a gap in the data indexing and data service layer, so we see this as a huge opportunity for Web3Go. The advantages of Web3Go are very obvious. We focus on the 4 public chains written in the Rust because we think Rust is a very good and efficient language. And at the same time, we will not give up EVM. We have obtained Moonbeam's business contracts, which will help us build a long-term stable income and technical accumulation in EVM. In 2022, our team's major focus was building dashboards for token holders analysis for all native node tokens on Polkadot. We deliver milestones in Web3 Foundation grant, but we have a clear direction that we'll start building the data service on multi-chains. We are currently a team of 7 with decentralized locations. Our team has diverse backgrounds in DeFi, NFT, machine learning, finance, and business development and design. Most of our members have been in the blockchain industry for years and have a good understanding in the Ethereum and Polkadot ecosystem. So that's all. If you're interested in Web3Go, please remember to follow us on Twitter, join our Telegram and Discord channel. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Tim. I'm CEO and co-founder of IMX. We have prepared 4 topics: project information, team, product progress, and roadmap. We are active in the area of digital identity. We have been founded in the canton of Zug in Switzerland in November 2021. Our core product is a fully compliant KYC and KYB check that works in any jurisdiction worldwide. This result is reusable. Our technology is blockchain agnostic and decentralized. We are a token-based identity and authentication protocol. What are the benefits for the stakeholders? The customer can buy everything in one click. The financial institutions have a fully compliant KYC and KYB check. In e-government, this means that all declarations between citizen and state can be executed in one click. For e-commerce, this means an increase of the return of investment in online marketing spend of about 2.5. For RegTech partners and telecommunication partners with pre-authenticated data, our technology provides a net result contribution per customer per year lifetime of $3. Our technology regarding the DID method for decentralized identifiers has been accredited by the World Wide Web Consortium in March 2022 as a worldwide standard. We hold an intellectual property on the authentication of persons, organizations, things, properties, and attributes by a technical procedure to provide a zero-knowledge proof between entities. This is necessary in order to be able to provide GDPR-conform and fully legally conform verifiable credentials. We have been voted as a winner project on Cardano in late 2022 regarding the segment identity. History overview, founded in November. In December, we have secured our intellectual property. In March 2022, the World Wide Web Consortium has accredited our technology as a blockchain agnostic open standard worldwide. In the same months with a telecommunication provider, we have delivered successful end-to-end tests that our technology works. This means ordering of the SIM card, verification of the customer, and also sending of the SIM card. Since July 2022, several products are live regarding KYC, KYB, and verifiable NFT. We had a nice revenue in the first 12 months with a EBITDA margin of higher than 20% and a positive free cash flow. There are several links that we provide regarding the deck, the white paper, Medium, and Linktree, and you can have a look at this based on the links to this YouTube video. So here, for example, you see a part of our deck. We have a full description of our technology in the white paper. This is our Medium channel where we describe our products and what we are doing. And this is our link tree with all the relevant links to the various information that we provide. Topic number 2, team. So each team member has just approximately 25 years of business experience. So this is mainly coming from the areas of e-commerce, telecommunication, startups, founding companies and selling of those companies, and the IT development, mainly in areas with high performance business models. You find more information on this on the deck on page 42. So for example, this is me. My name is Tim, CEO and founder. This is my colleague Tim Brückmann, Chief Marketing Officer, and Dennis Mittmann, our CTO. Regarding product progress, the first product that we took live is called NFT Identity. We have developed this for the segment of NFTs in order to show who is the creator, prove that it's real, protect the value, make it visible in any wallet, on any marketplace, reduce fraud to zero, and also to increase the second market revenues. So what we do there is something simple. We make it possible for the creator of the NFT to connect to various social media sources, Twitter, Facebook, Discord, GitHub, Apple, LinkedIn, Twitch, Google, and we make this successful login provable for the creator of the NFT. So once this is done, the creator chooses where to store this DIT method. So for example, on the interplanetary file system, on Bitcoin, on Cardano, on Ethereum, so wherever the customer wants this. Then the NFT identity is created, and from now on you can use it in any NFT collection that you mint. The second product is a delegation center. This is a product for the area of proof of stake. This makes it possible to show how much token you have earned and also to claim this token, and this piece of technology is used within several projects. Our core product is a fully compliant KYC and KYB check, and I would like to explain a little bit how this works and how this looks. So this starts for the customer where he chooses the product. So we have a pay-as-you-go price and we have a subscription. So the customer chooses the product, you find legal information, you declare your consent to certain legal terms, then you set up a PIN for your wallet, enable biometrics Face ID, and then you start a certain KYC depending on the jurisdiction that you are operating in. Then certain elements are checked. You do a selfie, there's a certain scan of your face, and then the verification is done. The output product are two elements. Number one is a DIT. This is a decentralized identifier with all kinds of relevant information. So in this case, for example, it's our own DIT method. One of the issuers is KYC Spider AG from Switzerland. They have done 30 million KYC records. We are the second issuer. The compliance level for this is conform with the regulatory authorities, for example, in Switzerland. One of the main differentiators is that it's possible to do a physical access delegation and also a digital access delegation, and that it's possible to update and upgrade this per module. And there are various checks that are performed here. Proof of identity, proof of address, and certain AML checks. And then this results in a so-called verifiable credential container that shows this additional information. Regarding the roadmap, our goal right now in the next months is a seamless white label integration of this technology with partners mainly from the area of the financial industry. Thank you very much.